The Kepler 442b colony had been humanity's greatest achievement, until the Vorthak swarm descended from the void like metallic locusts, their biomechanical ships darkening the twin suns. Admiral Zara Chen watched helplessly from the orbital defense platform as the alien fleet tore through their defenses with surgical precision, their weapons turning the terraformed paradise below into a hellscape of glass and ash. "All stations report critical damage," Lieutenant Torres announced, his voice cracking. "Colony shields are down. Evacuation ships. They're not going to make it." Chen's knuckles whitened around the command rail. 50,000 colonists, families, children, all about to become another footnote in humanity's losing war against the Vorthak Empire. The aliens had conquered 17 worlds in as many months, each victory adding to their seemingly unstoppable momentum across the galaxy. But Chen had noticed something during the 3-day siege that her tactical computers had missed. The Vorthak fought with mathematical precision, yes, but they also followed rigid behavioral patterns. Their swarm intelligence operated on predictable algorithms, lacking the chaotic unpredictability that made human warfare so devastating. "Torres, patch me through to all remaining defense platforms," she ordered. "Ma'am, with respect, we should evacuate while—" "Do it." Her voice cut across all frequencies as the Vorthak capital ships moved into bombardment formation. "All human forces, this is Admiral Chen. I know how this looks. I know what the tactical computers are telling you. But I've been watching these bastards for 3 days, and they have a fatal flaw. They think like machines." On her tactical display, the Vorthak fleet had arranged itself in a perfect geometric formation, their smaller scout ships creating defensive pickets while the massive dreadnoughts prepared to glass the planet. Beautiful, efficient, completely predictable. "Initiate protocol chaos," Chen commanded. "What happened next would be studied in alien military academies for generations. Instead of retreating or mounting a desperate last stand, the human forces did something the Vorthak swarm mind couldn't process. They attacked in completely irrational patterns. Defense platforms fired at empty space. Fighter squadrons dove directly into the heart of the enemy formation before breaking off at impossible angles. Damaged ships rammed into asteroids, creating debris fields that served no apparent tactical purpose. The Vorthak collective intelligence, accustomed to calculating optimal responses to logical military maneuvers, found itself paralyzed by the sheer randomness of human actions. Their formation wavered as individual ship commanders received contradictory orders from the confused swarm mind. That's when Chen struck with the real plan. "All units, execute Harper's Gambit. Now." Named after a half-crazy tactical theorist from Earth's military academy, Harper's Gambit was considered too dangerous and unpredictable for actual combat. It involved using nuclear mining charges to collapse the asteroid belt's largest rock directly into a planet's gravity well, creating a kinetic bombardment weapon of planetary proportions. The Vorthak realized the danger too late. Their ships, still trying to process the humans' chaotic attack patterns, couldn't reposition quickly enough. The asteroid impact didn't just destroy the Vorthak fleet. It created a massive electromagnetic pulse that shut down their biomechanical systems across the entire star system. When the dust settled, Chen found herself staring at 300 disabled alien vessels drifting in space like metal coffins. But instead of executing the cruise, she made a decision that would reshape the galactic balance of power. "Open a channel to the Vorthak flagship," she ordered. The insectoid face that appeared on her screen was a study in confusion and barely contained rage. "Human Commander, you have violated all accepted protocols of warfare. Your actions were—" chaotic, unpredictable, illogical. Yeah, that's kind of our thing, Chen replied. Here's what's going to happen. Your swarm mind operates on collective intelligence, right? Shared consciousness across your entire fleet? The alien's mandibles clicked in what she'd learned was their equivalent of a nod. Then you felt every ship die in that impact. You experienced the chaos firsthand, and now you're going to make a choice. Chen leaned forward, her eyes hard as diamond. Your empire has conquered 17 human worlds because you could predict our responses. But you can't conquer chaos itself. You can't strategize against pure human unpredictability. So here's my offer. Join us, learn from us, and maybe you'll survive the next enemy that comes along. Because I guarantee you there's always a bigger fish in this galaxy. The Vorthak commander was silent for long moments, his compound eyes reflecting the burning wreckage of his fleet. Finally, he spoke. What would you require of us? Loyalty, your ships, your knowledge, and most importantly, your ability to think like us when the situation demands it. Chen smiled grimly. Welcome to the human way of war, Admiral. It's going to be a hell of a ride. 6 months later, the joint human-Vorthak fleet emerged from hyperspace above Centauri Prime, humanity's besieged capital world. The Krulon Empire, the galaxy's newest threat, had surrounded the planet with a blockade fleet of over 1,000 ships. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the redesigned Vorthak flagship, now bristling with human weapons and modified alien technology. Beside her, Admiral Vexka of the Vorthak watched the tactical display with newly learned appreciation for human improvisation. Their formation is perfect, Vexka observed, mathematically optimal. Perfect formations are for species that haven't. Learn to embrace chaos, Chen replied. All ships, this is Admiral Chen. Today we show the galaxy what happens when human unpredictability meets alien precision. Initiate Operation Pandemonium. The Krulon commanders watched in growing horror as the attacking fleet suddenly split into seemingly random formations, their movements defying all tactical logic. Some ships accelerated directly toward the sun. Others appeared to be targeting empty space. A few even seemed to be attacking their own allies. And then, just as the Krulon collective mind began trying to process these impossible maneuvers, the real attack began from vectors no sane military strategist would ever consider. Chen smiled as she watched the enemy formation collapse into chaos. You know what, Vexka? I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. The liberation of Centauri Prime took exactly 17 minutes. Across the galaxy, other species began receiving a simple message transmitted on all frequencies. The humans are recruiting. Bring your fleets. Learn to think like chaos itself. The galaxy just got a lot more interesting.